What's going on, everybody? This is me, Ben Cornett, and welcome to another edition of Ben's Quick Picks. This is the Week 11 version here, right here on my YouTube channel at Ben Cornett 9015. And before we get into my picks and my record, I just want to say that if you're new to the channel, what Ben's Quick Picks is I go over each game every single week in the NFL, and I don't do any like point spreads or over-unders. I just do straight up picks, who I think will win or who I think will lose. Now, before we get into my picks for this week, for week 11, let me show you my record from last week in week 10 and my overall record for the year so far. So here it is. Check it out. And there you have it right there. I went 7-7 last week. You know, a lot of close games. Came down to the last second, 3-4 game-winning field goals. Could have went the other way. But overall, I am 99-51. That's great. I wish I could have gotten to that 100-win mark by week 10. But the football gods decided otherwise. But for this week, I'm pretty confident in my picks. There's a couple games I'm like, it was coin flips. But with that being said, let me show, before I explain my picks, I want to show you who I picked this week. And the check marks by the teams are the ones that I'm picking to win. So with that being said, here are my week 11 picks for this week. And there you have it right there. So with that being said, let me go over those games for you and tell you who I picked and why I picked them. So starting out with the Thursday night game, we got a AFC North battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, both teams lost last week, by the way, who I picked to win their games, on last-second field goals by the Texans and the Browns. And AFC North games are always fun to watch. They always play hard. They're always competitive. It's a short week for both these teams, but especially for the Bengals, who have to go on the road. And my thing is with road teams on a Thursday night, I don't like picking them because, it's a short week. You got to travel, even though Cincinnati, Baltimore's not too far, but you still got to travel, less practice time, where the home teams usually have, they're at home, they stay in their practice facility, don't have to really change their routines. So, but again, Cincinnati's a very good team. Tough loss last week against the Texans. Baltimore, tough loss against the Browns last week. I went back and forth on this one, but I do think, and the Ravens do have some injuries, but so do the Bengals. But in the end of the day, I'm going to go with the Ravens here. I think it's going to be a very close game, competitive. But I like Baltimore's defense a little better than I do Cincinnati. So give me the Ravens over the Bengals, 24-21 over the Bengals. This should be a very good game. Let's go to the Sunday games. Starting out with the Dallas Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers. Two teams that are going the opposite direction. Cowboys, their trajectory is going up. Meanwhile, Carolina's, it's not going up. And again, Carolina's rebuilding. Tough loss on a Thursday night last week against Chicago. Dallas annihilated the Giants. So this is a game where, again, Dallas always beats up on the very bad teams or not so good teams. Carolina is one of those teams. And again, it's more rebuilding than anything for Carolina. Bryce Young, rookie year, he's going through the growing pains. So with that being said, Dallas is just better on both sides of the ball. I like Dallas over Carolina. Give me 30-17 over the Panthers. Okay, we have another AFC North battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. And as I'm talking to you right now, we found out that Deshaun Watson, quarterback for the Browns, had season-ending surgery on his shoulder, so he's gone for the year. P.J. Walker's also out, their backup, so they got to go with Dorian Thompson-Robinson, however you say it. Sorry, don't mean to mess that name up, but they're down to their third-string quarterback. Now, Pittsburgh, they're not any better offensively with Kenny Pickett. The one thing both teams have are great defenses, and I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game. But I'm actually going to go Pittsburgh here in this game. why I like the Browns defense. If PJ Walker was starting, I definitely would go with the Browns here. But when you're down to your third string QB, it's going to be tough. And, Pittsburgh, they're going to feast on young quarterbacks. Browns have a great defense, but this is going to be a low-scoring game. I just trust Pittsburgh's offense just a little bit more. Give me the Steelers 17, the Browns 13 in this game. All right, the Las Vegas Raiders are at the Miami Dolphins. The Raiders are 2-0 since Antonio Pierce took over as the interim head coach. Miami coming off a bye week, had a tough loss in Kansas City up in Germany. So they had a week to rest and kind of regroup here. The Raiders, they're on a roll, 2 games in a row. But they're against the Giants and the Jets. Not very good teams. And I don't know why, but I picked against the Raiders both those games. Will I pick against the Raiders this week? I will. Because they got to go to Miami. Now you're going to play a better team, a better offensive team. And Miami's actually a little bit, they're better than the Giants defensively, not so much the Jets, but it's on the road in Miami. I'm going to go with the Dolphins here over the Raiders. I'm going to go 27-20. I think it's going to be a good game. The Raiders will give them a game, but Miami's just a little bit better than the Raiders right now, and they're going to prove it on Sunday. All right, the Giants at the Commanders. The Giants are, they're down to their third-string quarterback. Tommy DeVito, with Daniel Jones out for the year, Tyrod Taylor maybe out for the year. Now it's the Tommy DeVito show, and it's just not good. The Commanders, give them credit. They went into Seattle last week. They had a great chance to win that game. They stayed in it. Sam Howell's kind of growing on me a little bit. You got to give him credit. He's bolstered that offense for the last few weeks. He keeps this team in games, so much credit due to him. With the Giants not being that good on both sides of the ball, Washington's a little bit better, even though they lost Chase Young and Montez Sweat when they traded him over. I'm still going to go Commanders here. Division games, you just don't know, but in this one, I trust the Commanders more. So give me 20-10 over the Giants. The LA Chargers go up to Green Bay. Both teams coming off tough losses last week. Chargers, that throwing game over Detroit. Detroit winning 41-38. That's probably one of the most fun games to watch this year. Green Bay lost a tough one to the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. The Chargers, you just don't know. You just don't know about this team. You think they can win these games, but then they lose them. You think they can lose some of these games, but they win them. You just don't know which Chargers team you're going to get. They're not good defensively. They give up a lot of points. Green Bay, not very good offensively. And Jordan Love, I've never been sold on him. I would think this could be a trap game. The Packers could win this game. I'm still going to go Chargers here. I think they are the better team. They should be. And I think this week their defense might step up here. I say the key word is might. I'm going to trust the Chargers here. I'm going with them over the Packers. I'm going to go 27-20. The Titans at the Jaguars is an AFC South matchup. Both teams lost last week. So the Titans lose to the Buccaneers, my Buccaneers, and Jacksonville just got annihilated by the Niners, who were mad after that 3-game losing streak. They're back and healthy. More on the Niners in a little bit, but as far as the Titans go, they haven't won a game on the road all year. Jacksonville, meanwhile, a good team, maybe not as good as people think. Maybe they're not as good as I thought they would be. This one does scream like upset here. But I'm going to go Jaguars here. I think they're going to get their shit together. Hopefully, the Titans, I still don't trust them offensively. I know Will Levis' quarterback, he's starting to get better and better. Maybe this is the week they do pull it off, but maybe I'm playing it safe here. I'll go Jaguars in a close game. I'll go 19-17 over the Titans. The Arizona Cardinals visit the Houston Texans. Kyler Murray's back. He came back last week, played better than I thought he would. They beat Atlanta on a last-second field goal. Again, I don't know why I picked Atlanta. I did. The Texans come off that huge win up in Cincinnati, beating the Bengals on a last-second field goal. C.J. Stroud continues to impress. D'Amico Ryans has done such a great job with that team, with that turnaround, both offensively and defensively. And the Cardinals, they got 2 wins, but they're going up on the road now. They're playing a much better team. I don't expect the Cardinals to do much. Murray will keep you around in games for a certain amount of time, but in the end, I think the Texans are just much better. Give me the Texans over the Cardinals, 28-17. Moving on, the Bears at the Lions, NFC North showdown. Bears had a good win against Carolina on Thursday night last week, and the Lions won that throw-in game down in L.A., beating the Chargers 41-38. Detroit's just clicking on all cylinders right now. They're probably not only one of the best teams in the NFC, but maybe in all of football. They've had some great wins. The Chiefs opening night, they've just been on a roll. And Jared Goff has had a career revival up in Detroit. He's playing well. That defense is playing well. Well, the defense maybe didn't play their best last week. That's why this week I think Detroit's defense is going to play a lot better. And Justin Fields supposedly is going to be back for the Bears. I don't think it makes a difference. I'm going to go with the Lions here. Let's go 31-17. Now to the afternoon games. My Tampa Bay Buccaneers go up to Santa Clara to play the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the Buccaneers redeemed themselves last week, beating the Titans 20-6, holding Derrick Henry to very little yardage. They finally didn't get beat by a rookie quarterback, so that's good. Maybe that, trend will, has finally ended, and we can start beating rookie quarterbacks, but we're not playing a rookie quarterback this week. We're playing Brock Purdy, who's in his second year. I mean, he's still a young quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant. But listen, last week the Bucs offense finally showed up. Dave Canales finally knew how to use Mike Evans and Chris Godwin in his offense. And despite the Evans drops, he had 2 big drops in that game, including a potential touchdown. I'm not going to, keep beating that over in the head with that, but he did make up for it with a great effort on a touchdown he had, fighting for that extra yardage. They're going up against a very good 49ers team. It seems like they're all healthy and back defensively. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. Remember, the Niners have Seattle on Thanksgiving in a few days after this upcoming game. Could they be looking ahead? Maybe, but I'm still going to go Niners here over the Bucs. I know I'm picking against the Bucs, but I can't be a homer here. But I think this will be a closer game than people think. Give me the Niners 28, the Buccaneers 24. It should be a very good game, though. The Jets at the Bills, both teams have been struggling lately. This is my coin flip game. I just don't know about the Jets or Bills. Josh Allen's a turnover machine. The Jets do have a great defense, but they have no offense. And Zach Wilson is just not the answer. They only had 8 offensive touchdowns the entire season in 9 games. It's terrible. The Bills, again, games they should have won. They've just been hanging by the skin of their teeth. And Josh Allen's been struggling. And, the Jets are a team that beat the Bills earlier this year. Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions against them. That's the game opening night where, unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers got injured. I want to pick the Jets badly because the Bills are struggling, but I just don't trust them offensively. I trust the Bills a little more offensively, so give me the Bills over the Jets in an ugly game, 20-13. All right, the Seahawks at the Rams. This is a sneaky good game. NFC West division battle. Seahawks, like I said, they got to play the Niners on Thanksgiving. Could they be looking ahead to that game? Maybe. And the Rams are getting healthy at the right time. Matt Stafford's going to be playing. Pinocchio and Cooper Kupp are healthy. this is an offense that can score points, and Seattle's defense isn't as good as last year. And, the Rams seem to, you know, have the Seahawks number as of late. They did beat Seattle earlier this year. So I got to tell you, I actually like the Rams in this game, and that's who I'm going to go with. This is my upset pick of the week. I got the Rams over the Seahawks, 30-27. Should be a very good game, though. The Sunday night game, the Minnesota Vikings, the surging Minnesota Vikings, with new quarterback, the Pastronaut, Mr. Josh Dobbs, Mr. NASA. 2-0 since he's arrived in Minnesota. They're going up against Denver, who's played well as well. 2 of the last 3 weeks, they had big wins against the Chiefs, and this past Monday night against the Bills. Now, Russell Wilson seems to be turning that thing around. Their defense is starting to get better at the right time. This is an interesting game. Both teams are coming in hot, but I will say that Minnesota's wins have come against Atlanta and New Orleans, which, they're not exactly good teams. In Denver, they beat the Chiefs and the Bills on the road. So, I like Minnesota right now. Dobbs is playing well, but I think Denver's going to pull this one out. It's going to be a close game, a fun game, but I think Denver's defense is going to take care of Dobbs this week on Sunday Night Football. Give me the Broncos over the Vikings, 21-17, but it should be a pretty interesting game. And finally, the Monday Night Football game, probably the game of the year. If you're not an Eagles or Chiefs fan, I'm sure you still, when you looked at the schedules coming out, the Monday night game in November, Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl rematch, you had that one marked down. I did as well. This is going to be a great game. Both teams coming off a bye. The Eagles came off a big win over Dallas a couple weeks ago. Meanwhile, the Chiefs came off a big win over Miami in Germany. The Super Bowl rematch. 2 great quarterbacks, Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pick the Eagles to win this game. I just feel it. I think, and I know Andy Reid's done great. He's undefeated against his former team. But, it seems like the Chiefs, they've been not the same. They nearly let Miami come back in that game a couple weeks ago after having a 21-point lead. And they lost to the Broncos a couple weeks, earlier than that. Kansas City's kind of been skating by here. The Eagles, while not dominant, but they've played very well. And I like the Eagles' run game better than I do the Chiefs, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. The run game. Pacheco for Kansas City has been good, but not great. They got DeAndre Swift. The Eagles don't really use DeAndre Swift as much as they should. I think they will in this game. And I'm going to tell you what, I got the Eagles beating the Chiefs in KC, winning the rematch of their Super Bowl game from last year. Give me the Eagles 34, the Chiefs 31. Should be a hell of a game. I cannot wait to see this game. I'm looking forward to it. So there you have it. Those are my picks for week 11. Again, I explained who I think will win and why. But one more time, let me show you who I picked to win and see what you think. Do you think, they're good picks? Do you think they're not? Just put it down in the comments section. So with that being said, take a look at my week 11 picks one more time. And there you have it. Those are my week 11 picks. So with that being said, do me a favor, please like and subscribe to this channel. It's Ben Cornett 9015. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching this video this week and hope you enjoyed it. And let's see if I can do better this week than I did last week. And we'll find out next time on Ben's Quick Picks how I did in week 11 and, give you my week 12 picks. So with that being said, everybody, thank you for watching, and everybody, enjoy your NFL Week 11, whoever your team is. Good luck this week, and we will be back here next time, right here on Ben's Quick Picks. Take care, everybody.